What is up? Welcome everybody to another edition of AYS Fight Club. Daniel Dees has some family issues to take care of. Not a problem. I got my sidekick with me here. My oldest son Gabriel is going to help out tonight. So he's got the hat too. Runs in the family. We wear the hats around here. So which is a brief show tonight. We'll talk about the McGregor Poirier 3 trilogy has finally been announced and is ready to go. Also, we'll cover the UFC on ABC 2 card, which is scheduled for Saturday, a couple days away. So we'll hit on that. Brief show tonight. We'll just get something out there for everybody to chime in. Jump in the comment section. We'll make it a fan show. So first, we'll talk about McGregor Poirier 3. So, Gabriel, what do you think? They're tied one apiece. McGregor got the first one. Poirier got the second one. So it all comes down to the third one. Who do you think? Jump on the screen here. It's all you. Who do you think's got gets the third one here?
I think Poirier will get it because he knows to go for the legs of Conor because he's a really good kicker. But Conor might be expecting him to go for the legs, so he might have to change up his plans a little.
So you're saying Poirier is who you're thinking? Okay. All right. Well, we can go that, and you thinking the leg kicks is really what kind of threw McGregor off there.
Yeah.
So, but you don't think he can make the game plan and adjust to that?
I think he'll get really far in it, but I think Poirier will come out on top.
What do you think is going to help Poirier the most win? How do you think he's going to win? What's he going to do?
I think he should try to aim for the body a little, try to get up there to try to focus McGregor on the body, and then out the middle of nowhere start going for the legs.
Mix it up.
To kind of mix it up a little. Yeah.
Okay. All right. How do you think he's going to win this one? Won the last one with the TKO stoppage. How do you think this one's going to go?
I think he's going to go to the judges.
Oh, you think this number 3 is going to go to the judges?
Yeah.
What makes you think that?
Well, they're both really good fighters, and they know each other's tactics now. So I think
being the third time they fought,
I think they're going to clash, and it's going to go to the judges.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. When you got fighters who have fought multiple times, getting back in there for the third time, it's definitely the decision can happen because you know that fighter really well. You kind of know what to expect. So that's definitely a good analysis here. So this isn't for the title, though. Do you think if Poirier wins, he'll get a title shot? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think he might get one if he wants to really prove himself.
Because Charles Oliveira and Michael Chandler are fighting for the title. Whoever wins that will become the new lightweight champion. So that'll be very soon. So you think if Poirier wins, he'll get the winner?
Yeah,
you think so?
Yeah.
And how do you think that's going to go? Who do you think?
I mean, I think Poirier will get the title.
Think Poirier is going to go all the way back to the top, huh?
Yeah.
All right. And Conor, if Conor wins, what do you think he would get a title shot or?
Yeah, I think he'll get one.
So you think this is pretty much a number 1 contender match? Whoever wins this is going to get the champion.
They're both really talented, so I think it's whoever really wins.
Yeah, they're definitely both very talented fighters. So with that, we'll go ahead and let's jump over here. What was Saturday's card? Normally we do shows on Friday, but we jumped to Thursday's our new day here. So in the main event, I'll have you go through these here with me. We have Marvin Vettori. As you can see right here, his record is 16-3-1, taking on Kevin Holland, who is 21-6. Holland's active last year. You can see right here, he won a good bit of fights in a row.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah, but he lost his last fight in March. But he's a very, very active fighter. If you look here, he fights every kid. He fights every couple of months. Sorry about that. Looks like we had a little we dropped our connection there. Talking about the main event, Marvin Vettori and Kevin Holland. Who are you going with in that main event? Looking at some of these numbers here, seeing they're both pretty good strikers.
I think Kevin Holland will get it.
You think Kevin Holland? Yeah, that's definitely he's a safer bet than not. If you have Kevin Holland in a fight, you say you think Kevin Holland's going to win more times than not, you're going to be pretty right. Yeah, it's going to be a close one. It's been Vettori had a pretty good 2020 as well. Also, he only had 2 fights, but it's pretty good. Won a rear naked choke, and then he went to a decision with Jake Hermanson. Jack Hermanson is a very, very tough guy. But yeah, I think Holland is just his activity. His last fight. Sometimes you need to lose to help yourself rebound and refocus yourself. And Holland was rolling along good. He was getting overconfident in his game, and he kind of fell back, on some things a little bit, getting a loss that may have, been what he needed to help him refocus himself. So that definitely, that he may go on his way to, getting into the title picture now. Come off a loss, and this is a big fight here. If he can defeat somebody like Marvin Vettori, that can really help Holland rebound really fast.
Are any of them ground fighters?
They're both. I mean, you look right here. Vettori has a submission win. But yeah, I mean, once you're in the UFC, you're everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like I've said before, where NFL players and basketball players. When I was younger, I collected baseball cards. You know what that is because they don't get anything like that. But you collected paper baseball cards, and when you would get a book, I know you don't know this is either a Beckett number on the back of the card. You match it up; it would tell you how much it's worth, $2, $3, whatever.
It's kind of like selling it.
Well, if you wanted to, you can know the price. But one of the big things is a lot of the players didn't have prices. It would have at the top, it would say common players, and they would be like 10 cents, 20 cents, or whatever. But to me, if you're in the NFL or you're in the NBA, you're not common. You're very specialized. It's a one in a million thing.
Yeah.
Same thing with these guys in the UFC. I mean, they're good everywhere.
If you make it up that high, you're not really common.
Yeah, if you make it that high, you're good striking. You're good on the ground. You may be more comfortable in one place or the other, or you could be better, but you're still going to be really good. If this was only a ground fight, both of these guys could still look pretty good because they're high quality athletes. And not even that these guys are just in the UFC. These are two, high quality guys that are really, really up there in the UFC. So let's take a look next hour. Our co-main event, ABC. So it's the second one on the ABC network. A lot of people have actually go to town. So he's the favorite there on ABC. UFC on like every weekend. But when I was a kid, I was getting to see it, a lot more frequently than I did as a kid. But here we go, pull it up on the phone here and go a lot faster. All right, technical issues. I think Gabriel's bad luck for the show here. I think it's all him. But we'll just we'll make it a brief show here. Arnold Allen, Sadiq Youssef, both guys are on hot, with hot hands right now. Both guys, very, very, very bad. It's a underrated, to be co-main event. You can see the names and really think, of it being much of a co-main event fight. But both of them are really good fighters. I'm gonna go with Sadiq Youssef. I think it's gonna be a close fight, but I'm gonna go with Youssef on that one. There's 5 fights on the main card, so it looks like it's gonna be a solid card for ABC. Now, one of the biggest names that I'm interested in, he's actually on the prelims, is Mateusz Gamrot, who is out of Poland. He was the KSW featherweight and lightweight champion at the same time. Defended the titles simultaneously for years. Like 2015, he won the lightweight title at KSW and kept it all the way till he vanquished it to sign with the UFC last year. Lost a controversial, very close split decision loss last year in his last fight. So I'm definitely looking for him to rebound. He's training that American Top Team. He's with. I actually talked to him earlier in the week. He said his camp went really good. He trained with Masvidal, Poirier, and Morcano as his main training partners. So that's definitely quite a field to run through as training partners. He's getting the best training in the world. Mike Brown is now his head coach at American Top Team, so he's going to improve on that. He's 17-1, so definitely looking for him to make a big move here, have a great showing, and make a march up the lightweight division. I know it's a very stacked division. Arguably that and the welterweight are the most stacked divisions in the UFC. Lightweight's always been a tough division to go through, but Gamrot has the skill. He's at a great place in American Top Team to refine those skills and really polish those Polish skills and become even more of a dangerous fighter than he's been, which is somebody I've watched fight for years. He's definitely a guy. Jump on board now. It's a name you're going to hear. He's going to start making the moves up. And then we'll talk a little bit about yesterday's fight. They had one championship, had their first TNT show, one on TNT1, with Eddie Alvarez and Mighty Mouse both losing. So I know Alvarez's was a disqualification. He's actually requesting they're submitting to commission to try to get a reversal on the decision. Mighty Mouse took a knee that ended up knocking him out. He was on the ground. He was in a sitting position, but he defended it. He likes the rules, and then the UFC it's totally different. With the knee down and the down to rule. But overseas like that in one championship over there, based out in Singapore, the rules are different. That's the thing about MMA. The rules are different everywhere you go. Especially back in the day, you look at Pride rules, and it was just a wild west as far as rules go. You had the Shogun soccer kicks, and it was just a whole different thing. But he defended. He's like, hey, I don't have a problem with it. So it all depends on the fighter and where you are, and we're never going to have universal rules across the board. It's not going to happen. We've talked about this many times before. There's too many hands in the pot as far as when it comes to commissions and powering bodies, and it's just like boxing. Boxing has been like that from day one, and it still is, and it's not going to. Boxing is never going to change either. If we've learned from over the 100 years of history of boxing, it's not going to change. But he's okay with it. Mighty Mouse is okay with it. He knew, he's okay with the rules. So I don't think the UFC is going to go too much for allowing, the need, especially with what happened with Aljamain Sterling and Peter Yan, but some fighters are okay with it, some aren't. It just depends the organization you're at, the commission you're in. So we'll just had a little brief show here tonight, a little 20-minute show, just a little something here. Had a couple technical issues, but which is all Gabriel's fault. He won't be back anymore. I'll make sure he's not here. So we'll, next week, hopefully Daniel needs to be back and this one won't be. And we'll go over the UFC card. There's some more fights coming up. Every weekend is always something. KSW has a fight at the end of the month. Also, AKA based out of Shreveport has an event coming up 2 weeks from tomorrow. It's AKA 14. So it's going to be an amazing. There's 6 pro fights, 3 amateur title fights. So that's amazing just right there. It'll be on Fight Pass. The prelims will be on the AKA American Combat Alliance Facebook page, and then the main card will be on UFC Fight Pass, which AJ Fletcher's on the card, Dennis Hughes is on the card. So you have some killer names that are going to be on that card. Talk more about that next week because that'll be the following Friday. So we'll hit that then. We'll talk a little bit more about KSW next week. But for this week, we'll call it wraps. Just like I said, quick little something just to get it out there. Just remember to subscribe to the Are You Serious Facebook page, the YouTube, all of that. Jump on board all that, catch all of our shows. And remember the first rule of AYS Fight Club is tell all your friends about the Fight Club. We'll see you next week.